I am Marie Brown, and this is Minds in Motion. Often in the past, the main way that we made money was by having a job, going on the usual 9 to 5, working for some type of employer. Nowadays, being with the technology that we have, there are many ways that we are able to make money. There are many ways that we are able to start a business. I believe there are two types of business owners, one being entrepreneurs, and two being those that are self employed. So, I want to discuss the two types of business owners today because often you'll hear people saying everyone can't be an entrepreneur or entrepreneurs are born. That is because I believe there are actually two types of business owners that we need to look at when we want to start a business. So, first, let's talk about entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are people who organize and operate a business or businesses, taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. Now, someone who is self employed, they are working for themselves more than likely as a freelancer or just an owner of the business rather than for an employee. Now, when we look at the two, an entrepreneur and someone who is self employed, an entrepreneur usually starts with a skill or particular set of skills, and that turns into an opportunity for them to make money. Now, an entrepreneur, they're more about the risk and the reward of starting a business. They create ways to succeed, then they move to the next venture. The difference between a self employed person and an entrepreneur when owning a business is someone who's self employed, they may be the owner of a business, but they carry out all of the responsibilities of an employee and all the duties of the success of the business. When you look at an entrepreneur, they are more about the startup and the creating of something that is successful, and that is what motivates them. Now, the difference is an entrepreneur, they are more likely to sell the business or start a new business once that business is set for success. And someone who is self employed, they have to put in major hours in order to keep the business alive a lot of the times. They are usually overworked, underpaid, and they get few days off because they spend all their time in the business. So, those are some differences between an entrepreneur and someone who is self employed. An entrepreneur, they're more likely to start the business, come up with the ideas, be the person that is the decision maker in the business. They decide how much of a product or a service they're going to produce. And then the person who is self employed, they're pretty much working there in the business 24/7, 7 days a week. They pretty much do all the tasks. They're responsible for making sure that the business is successful. Unlike an entrepreneur, who I'm pretty sure you guys are aware, sometimes an entrepreneur may not even work in the business. They just have great ideas of some type of business venture. They get the business going, they support the finances of the business, and they give it to someone else to run in a lot of cases. So, those are the basic differences between an entrepreneur and being self employed. But both of them can be business owners, regardless of the difference of the two. Now, even though there are two different types of business owners, there are some common qualities of both entrepreneurs and those that are self employed. One is, of course, they both have to be confident. Two is they both have to be creative. And three, they both have to be risk takers. So, whether or not you want to consider yourself as an entrepreneur or as self employed, you have to be creative, confident, and a risk taker. Now, there are some different qualities which I believe they can both apply to each one, but these are the main characteristics of an entrepreneur. They have to be passionate, they have to be disciplined, they are flexible. They have very strong work ethics. They have strong people skills because you know a lot of times when you're an entrepreneur, you have to get money and things like that from people in order to start the next business. They are open minded, they are self starters, they are very competitive, and they also have a lot of determination. So, even if you're self employed, it doesn't mean that you can't have some of these same qualifications. Now, also, when you're self employed, some of the top qualities, are hardworking, leadership ability, goal orientated, quality content, good communicator, and very independent. So, if you're thinking about starting a business or if you have already started a business, think about which category you fall under. Are you an entrepreneur or are you just going to be self employed? Because that's going to make a difference in what type of success you have.